What's up guys, this is Eddie, welcome to a new video, Quantum Troll, let's go. Alright, so before we dive in, the troll loadout and the setup and everything, you guys need to know what you need to do as a troller. So troller has few jobs. Number one is gonna be power healing. Basically, you will be giving out power to your group mates, and whatever superpower you use in your loadout, it's gonna give, power over time to you and your group mates. So don't forget to power heal. Number second is debuff your enemies. So there are gonna be 3 debuffs: damage debuff, healing debuff, and defense debuff. So make sure you debuff your enemies, it will make the fight go smoother and faster. Number third is buff your allies. So as a troller, it's your job to buff your allies. We're gonna talk about it in detail, later in the video. And number fourth is crowd control. So as a controller, you, like it says in the name, you can control the crowd. So you can stun the enemies, you can juggle the enemies, you can encase them, and you can pull them to the tank. So, you're helping the group a little bit. And number fifth is pickups. So people think that it's DPS's job or healer's job to, pick people up whenever they're down, but actually it's troller's job to pick up, because you're not doing much, you're standing in the back, you're giving out power, you're debuffing the enemies, that's about it. So make sure you do the pickup so DPS's can DPS and healers can heal. So these are the things you need to do as a controller, and there are 3 types of controller: battery troll, buff troll, and battle troll. So we're gonna talk about them, each of them one by one. So let's start with battery troll. Alright, so here we are as a battery troll, and the main job for battery trolling is battery troller is to give power out and debuff your enemies. That's about it. And you don't have to buff your allies, you don't have to worry about that. Just make sure your group mates' power bar is full all the time, or at least 75% all the time. So we're gonna be focusing on vitalization, because the more vitalization you have, the more power you're gonna give out. So mine is 76,053 right now, so we're gonna focus on that. And then you make sure you have controller gear. It says requires role controller, so make sure you get the controller gear for this role. And then we're gonna look at the gear mods. For weapon, we're gonna use replenishing adapter 5. For head socket, supercharged event horizon 3. For neck, escalating replenishing procs 5. For back, weakening field. For chest, power efficiency. For legs, restorative quantum tunneling. And for hands, maximum damage. For feet, tumbling master, it's super speed based. If you're flight or acrobat or whatever, you can use deadly block. And now we are gonna go and take a look at the augments first. So since we are controlling, so we're gonna be focusing on vitalization. So make sure you have vital implants as your original augments, and vital, whatever the highest augment you can access, make sure the adaptive augments are also vitalization based. So get these, and then we are gonna look at the allies. So the combat ally doesn't matter. I'm using Zoom right now. You can use whatever you want, just for the AoE damage. And the second one is Batman Who Laughs. So Batman Who Laughs draws a random card during combat to gain a buff for 20 seconds. So it can be 5% might, dominance restoration, and vitalization, and 2.5% precision. It can also give you, plus 35 power regeneration, or 7.5% critical chance, or 10% health. So based on the card you draw, you're gonna be buffing yourself up. So it's really, helpful as a troller. Number third I'm using is House of Legends bot. It gives me, 15% of my maximum power when I stun an enemy, and I stun a lot. Basically increases my power pool. And you can also use Cyborg. It will give you 30 passive power recovery when all your base generator cells are above 50%, so you get some extra power as well. So it's up to you. You have 2 options, a House of Legends bot or Cyborg. Alright, so for the base mods, we're gonna be using vitalization and power. So make sure you get the highest base mods possible, whatever you can access. And vitalization, because we need to increase our vitalization. The more vitalization we have, the more power we're gonna give out. And power mods, because, to increase our own personal power pool. Now let's talk about the artifacts. So here are the artifacts. The first one we're going to use is Strategist card. It's going to give you 4% might, 4% dominance, 4% restoration, 4% precision, and 4% vitalization. And the main thing we're going to focus on is tactical advantage. So as a troller, it will apply a power heal, apply a power over time for 8 seconds. And if you have it at rank 200, it will double the proc chance of tactical advantage. It will increase the potency of tactical advantage by 30%. So you're going to get your power back, and you're going to give power up to your enemies as well, allies as well. Number 2 is the most important controller artifact in the game. It's Amulet of Ra, and it gives you 5% vitalization, 4% power, 3% health. So what it does is whenever you're applying your controller debuffs, which are damage debuff, defense debuff, healing debuff, they're going to be 50% stronger, and they're going to hit up to 7 additional enemies near your target. So let's say you are fighting a boss and it spawns a lot of ads, and you are target locked on the boss, and you use your defense debuff with 1 button. You don't have to do it 7 times to debuff all the ads next to it. You just press 1 button and it will automatically debuff 7 additional enemies near to your boss. And then the controller debuffs are 50% stronger. So let's say the base defense debuff is 10%. So 50% of 10% is 5%. So if you have Amulet of Ra, it will be debuffing 15% of the defense debuff. So 15% defense debuff will be applied if you have Amulet of Ra. Number 3 is Scrap of the Soul Clocks. It gives you 5% power, 4% health, 3% might, and it is basically for your supercharge. So it increases your maximum supercharge and supercharge generation by 27% and reduces your supercharge ability cooldowns by 22.5%. So this means you can pop your supercharge again and again. That also means giving shields to your group mates, giving power to your group mates. And whenever you use a supercharge, it will restore your 7% maximum supercharge. But this does not stack with extended supercharge tactical mod, and that is why we are using power efficiency in the chest. So this is the basic setup for the artifacts as a battery troll. Now let's go quickly and take a look at the skill points allocation. So as a weapon, I'm using Brawling. It's really fast. So Brawling into martial arts, make sure you unlock this and then go to martial arts, unlock these, and then go back to Brawling and unlock these too. So Brawling into martial arts is going to be our main weapon. Under super speed, flight, acrobat, get this, and then if you have extra skill points, get these. This will basically give you some restraint resistance, root resistance, impulse resistance, and give you some power back. Under iconic, we're not going to get anything. Under stat points, this is the most important part. So I go for superpowered. Some people go for hybrid because it gives you some extra vitalization, but it's not necessary. Just go for superpowered. It will give you 10% power and 25% power regeneration bonus. Then go for critical power chance, critical power magnitude, and then put everything in vitalization, because the more vitalization we have, the more you're gonna give power out. And then we're gonna put everything else, if you have extra skill points, then put everything else in dominance. So the more dominance you have, your stuns are gonna be stronger, your shields are gonna be stronger, so it will be easier for you to crowd control. So that's why we're going for this. This is recommended setup, vitalization and dominance. So now let's go and take a look at the loadout. So here we are. The first one is going to be Anomaly. The Anomaly is your supercharge generator, and it is also your healer debuff. So whenever you use this, it will give you some of your supercharge back, and you basically restore your supercharge, and also damages enemies over time and also stuns them for a few seconds. Number 2 is Singularity. Singularity is your defense debuff. So this is the most important one. We're going to be using this all the time. Make sure your defense debuff is up all the time. Number 3 is Temporal Extortion. This is your group power heal, and it restores power to you and your group, 3 most fatigued members. So whenever you pop this, you will be giving a burst power heal to your group members, and it will restore them power. And beside that, whatever you use, you'll be giving power over time anyways. Number 4 is Quantum Tunneling. I love using this because this is the best power in Quantum. It teleports you and gives you a shield, which is not as strong as the other one. Where is it? There we go, Time Bubble. So you can also use Time Bubble if you want instead of Quantum Tunneling, if you don't want to, get teleported or whatever. But I love it because, when you're doing pickups, you just pop this and you're quickly at the spot, like wherever you want to do pickups. So Quantum Tunneling. And then we have Alkebear Wave. Alkebear Wave is your damage debuff. Whenever you debuff the enemy with this power, it's going to apply a 10% damage debuff on that. And number 6 is your Event Horizon Supercharge. So 5000 supercharge cost, cooldown is 30 seconds. So whenever you pop this, all your group mates will be shielded and it will restore power over time to all your group mates. So this is the basic loadout. Very simple to do. If you are new to trolling, I suggest you stick to this battery troll setup and you're good to go for any kind of raid. And the next one we're gonna go and take a look at. Alright, so here we are with buff trolling. So for buff trolling, the gear is same, the gear mods are same, and we're gonna focus on health instead of vitalization first. So my health is 418,035, and the reason we are focusing on health is because of the artifacts, and we're gonna talk about that in a second. Let's look at the augments. Augments, we're gonna be using dominating implants in origin augments instead of vital, because with dominating implants you get a little bit extra health, so focus on that. And then of course we're going to use vital augments in adaptive augments, so get that. The allies are same, the base mods are same. And before we talk about artifacts, let's quickly go and take a look at the skill points allocation, because that is a little bit different. So we're still using brawling into martial arts because this is the fastest weapon in the game. Under super speed, we're going to get that flight acrobat. If you have extra skill points, get these 5, otherwise just leave them. Under iconic powers, nothing. So stat points, the most important part, we're gonna get super powered, which gives you 10% power and 25% power regeneration. And then we're gonna put 20 points in critical power chance, 10 points in critical power magnitude, and then we're gonna get everything in health first. So because we're focusing on health, and we're gonna get that. Then if you have extra skill points, get some vitalization, because of course you're still gonna be giving out some power, so you know, get vitalization. Now let's talk about the artifacts first. So right now 418,035 health, and the reason we are focused on health is because of this. So Tetra, if you have it at rank 200, it's gonna give you 5% health, 4% might, 3% power. And whenever you use a superpower in your loadout, no matter what power you use, from your 5 superpowers, whenever you hit an enemy with a superpower, it will grant you and up to 7 group members might equal to 2% of your health if you have it at rank 200. Mine is at 160, so it says 1.8, but at rank 200, it's gonna give you might equal to 2% of your health. So, but it also doubles in damage roll or controller rolls. Since we're gonna be in controller roll, it's gonna double, so that means it's gonna be 4% of my health. So my health is 418,035, so 4% of that, I'm just gonna put it on screen. So you're gonna be giving this much might to your 7 other group members if you're using this. But this is situational. If you have might DPSs in the group, use Tetra. If you have precision DPSs in the group, you're gonna use Cog of Megadon. So replace Tetra with Cog. And what's gonna happen is, first of all, your health increases a little bit depending on your artifact. So at 200 rank, it's gonna give you 5% health, 4% precision, and 3% dominance. So you have precision DPS in the group, and whenever you use your cross weapon combo, which is brawling into martial arts, it's gonna give you and 7 group members precision equal to 1.25% of your health, and this effect is also doubled in damage roll controller roll. So that's gonna be 2.50% of your health. Precision basically. So precision equal to 2.50% of your health. So again, gonna put the numbers on the screen so you can see this is how much precision you're gonna be giving around this health. So based on the group, you're gonna be replacing this. And if you have might DPSs, just use Tetra. If you have precision DPSs, use Cog. So second artifact is gonna be Amulet of Ra. As I told you before, it's one of the most important artifacts. So your controller debuffs are gonna be 50% stronger, and they're gonna hit 7 additional enemies near your target. So always use this. And number 3 is Claw, one of the most important artifact for buff trolling. And at rank 200, it's gonna give you 5% health, 4% power, 3% might, and we are gonna focus on supplanting energies. So while in controller role, your group weapon buff, which is your temporal extortion power, applies to you and 7 group members, and in addition grants 7% might, restoration, dominance, and as well as 5% critical chance and magnitude for 12 seconds, but no longer power heal. So let's remove this for a second, and we use our temporal extortion. So you're basically giving power out to yourself and 3 other group mates whose power are low. And if we go and check here, it gives you 20% weapon damage, DPS, and 20% precision for 12 seconds to yourself and 3 other group mates. But if you have Claw on, when you pop this, you're gonna see these orange spikes coming out of you, and that means your Claw is active now. So now we go and check this, the temporal extortion. It's gonna say 20% precision to group, 20% weapon DPS to group. That means 7 other group members are getting this, and then 5% critical chance and critical magnitude. then 7% might to group, 7% restoration to group, and 7% dominance. So you're basically buffing the whole group for 12 seconds. So that's why you can just pop it every 12 seconds and you're good to go. And at rank 200, it increases the passive power regeneration from your controller role by 20%, so you're gonna get some extra power. And after casting your temporal extortion, you gain 3% vitalization per group member with supplanting energies on them for 12 seconds. So it also gives you some extra vitalization. So this is the buff troll setup. So depending on the situation, just replace Cog with Tetra, and these two are gonna remain the same. And that's about it. So everything else is same. The base mods, the allies is same. I have already told you, skill point allocation and augments. So yeah, go nuts. And what you can do is to buff yourself up, you can use compound soldiers, 5% health bonus, basically 5% precision, 5% vitalization. And you can also use the all natural soldier, which is gonna give you some extra health. So you have some extra health, so 2% of that and 4% of that, you're gonna give some extra stats to your group mates. So this is the buff trolling. Now let's go and talk about battle trolling. Alright, so for battle trolling, there are two ways you can go. You can either go precision based, you can either go might based. So some people try to go, might based as a, battle controller, but I prefer precision because it's better. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on precision. Mine is at 88,871, and then my vitalization is 60,872. The difference is we're gonna be wearing full DPS gear with DPS mods and max damage, penetrating strikes, berserker in back, and whatever supercharge you're using. And the only thing we're using from controller is gonna be the weapons. So we're still using controller weapon, which is brawling. So we're gonna use that. For augments, we're gonna use vital implants in origin and precise augments in adaptive. So if you can mix and match. You can use 2 precise implants and 2 vital. It's up to you. But yeah, we still need some vitalization because we're still gonna be in controller role. We're still gonna be giving out power, and we just don't want to completely focus on DPS, DPS augments. And then for allies, we're gonna be using, whatever you want, AoE or single target. It's up to you, zoom or crypto. And obviously we're going to use Batman Who Laughs for the random card. This one is optional. I like to use Batman because it gives me 9% might, 4.5% precision. Mine is at 9/10. When it's at 10/10, it's going to be 10% might and 5% precision. So I can get that every time I reach 100 combo hit counter, and it will give me this amount. But you can also use, Cyborg or House of Legends board for some extra power if you have low skill points, if your power out is low. So these are the allies. Let's take a quick look at the artifacts. So we are going to be using transformation card, and make sure you have it at rank 200. So it's one of the best artifacts in the game. It gives you 3% health, 3% power, 3% restoration, 3% might, 3% precision, and you gain 20% critical chance and 30% critical magnitude on your attacks. So really good DPS artifact. Number second is Amulet of Ra. As told you before, no matter what type of controller you are, you're always going to be using this. So your controller debuffs are 50% stronger and hits up to 7 additional enemies. Number third, we're going to be using Cog of Megadon because we are, precision battle trolling. So it's gonna buff your own precision and also 7 other group members precision. So we use that. Now sometimes what you can do is you can also use scrap, or you can also use strategist card for some extra power out, for some extra criticals. It's up to you, but this setup works really well. Now let's take a quick look at the weapon, skill points allocation. So weapon, brawling, same as before, into martial arts. Super speed, flight, acrobat, get these. You don't have to get these, as I told you before. It's optional. If you have extra skill points, then yeah, make sure you get these. Iconic powers, nothing. Stat points is where it's different. So under stat points, we're gonna go for weapons expert this time because it's gonna increase 10% total weapon damage, but keep in mind it reduces power regeneration by 25%. So you have to be very, very careful while giving out power. And then we're gonna go for critical attack chance, 20 points in that, critical attack damage, 40 points in that, then critical power chance and critical power magnitude because we're still trolling, we still need to give out power, so get these. And then put everything in precision because we need our precision to do weapon damage, and so get this. Now then you can put extra skill points if you have any, which you should for battle trolling. If you don't have extra skill points, that means you shouldn't be battle trolling, but yeah, if you have extra skill points, put everything in vitalization. So again, because we are still trolling, we're just not gonna be purely DPSing, we are battle trolling. So this is the skill point allocation setup. Now let's go to the loadout. And here's the loadout. The first one is going to be Singularity, your defense debuff, the most important debuff in the game. So no matter what type of controller you are, make sure you are running this and it's up all the time on your target. And then we're going to clip that with Warp Reality, which is your weapon buff. It's going to increase your precision for a short period of time, for 12 seconds, increase your weapon damage. And then we have Temporal Extortion, same as before. It's a group power heal, so it will also give you some precision bonus. It will also give you some weapon damage bonus, and to yourself and to group's 3 most fatigued members. So get that. Then we're gonna get Quantum Tunneling, same as before. Shield. Number 5 is your damage debuff. You can run that or you can run healing debuff. It's up to you depending on the situation. And number 6 is your Event Horizon Supercharge for emergency purposes, because you might be low on power, your group mates might be low on power. So for situations like that, just pop your Supercharge and you can give some quick power and shielding to your group mates. And that's about it. It's pretty simple. So very simple loadout. So you can also buff yourself with flex sorters while doing battle trolling. So you can do that, and that's about it. So just buff yourself up and enjoy. Controlling is one of my favorite role, to be honest. You just stay at the back, do DPS, do debuffs, pick up people. It's really fun. So enjoy this loadout and all the other loadouts I've shared. And if you have any questions, just comment down in the comment section below and I will get back to you, and I'll see you next time.